Chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chest. 1, 2. One, two. Yeah, you had that muted. Okay. There's 61 events. There is 61 events today, live from the Edmonds School District Championship. This is Sound Live Sports Network. I am Ben Iman. Steve Willits will be joining us later. 4 schools competing today. Those are Mount Lake Terrace, Meadowdale, Edmonds Woodway, and Linwood. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sound Live Sports Network, where today we are broadcasting live from beautiful Edmonds Stadium for the Edmonds School District Track Championships. Today, right now, we are broadcasting field events, and track events will begin at 5 o'clock. We are glad you joined us today for this beautiful track match between the Meadowdale Mavericks, the Linwood Royals, the Edmonds Woodway Warriors, and the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. Now we'll turn it over to the public dress announcer for some seniors highlights.
Click?
This is. Hang on.
Der Nerf startet so heat.
Oh.
I'm about to sing Spencer on the
Are you actually having issues with Spencer? Ow!
Oh, I thought you said, are you actually going to do it? Like, is that sharp enough? No, it's just been really annoying. I just don't want to do it.
Why?
Because of Spencer.
That's true. God, that's the most annoying thing when you Spencer.
Please stop.
Go away.
And he's like, no!
Like,
I don't want
shut your mouth.
to! Right?
Yeah.
Is that a good impression of Spencer?
Yeah.
You got it! I don't
What the
think
hell are
she
you yelling at?
She ran by. I'm like,
I
yeah!
didn't see her. You were talking to her?
I don't think she likes me very much.
I don't think so either.
She didn't say anything. She was just like,
I don't think she realized you were talking to her though. Where's fucking Lee?
I think Como's like, no, we don't need
Ben
this.
is calling me.
Who?
Ben.
What is that?
You just hit the answer button.
Hello?
That's not how his phone works. What did you do? No, that would be it. Yeah, I saw you run.
Como said point
I
at
don't know what you did.
I think I accidentally hit the other button.
You split it. You're not supposed to slide it. You're supposed to hit answer.
Oh, I slid it. Whoops. Whoops. It's coming right back.
Right, it's right there. Okay, it is pointed at, where the fuck is the finish line?
Right there.
No, it is pointed there. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Why?
His voicemail.
What is this? I don't want to be near you. You do this.
Oh, we'll just leave it on.
Just leave it there. Whatever, it's fine.
Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network. Just to let you know, track events will begin in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes till track events begin.
Women's long jump. First call, women's long jump. This will be varsity participants, and we'll need you in the north pit next to shot put. Ladies, if I could have your attention, please. This is the second call for the women's varsity long jump. Second call, women's long jump. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just arriving to Edmonds Stadium, we would like to welcome you to the Edmonds School District Track and Field Championships. Our field event started at approximately 4 p.m. this afternoon. It is now time to get ready for our running events. With that said, we would like to announce the first call for the women's 4x200 meter relay. First call, women's 4x200 meter relay. Remember, all runners, please check in at the tent on the 35-yard line before making your way to the start line. Spectators and participants, we have found a white iPhone down on the field. That phone is at the tent. If you're missing a phone, please see Jessica at the 35-yard line.
It's on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How about now? Can you hear?
Ladies, if I could have your attention, please. This is the third and final call for the women's varsity long jump. Final call, women's varsity long jump. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to remind you that the concession stand is open and will remain open for the duration of tonight's track meet. See Joe and his gang for all your favorite treats, hot and cold drinks. Joe's Snack Shack, located behind the stadium grandstands. Participants, this is the second call for the women's 4x200 meter relay. Second call, all women's 4x2 teams, please make your way to the tent for check-in.
Can you hear me? Test? Still hear me? Okay, I'm going to go over here by the finish line.
Where is he going? I am.
Ladies, could I have your attention, please? Would Laura Stump from Linwood High School please report to women's long jump? Once again, Laura Stump of Linwood High School, please report to long jump.
What is Steve doing? It's still on.
Participants, if I could have your attention, please. This is the third and final call for the women's 4x200 meter relay. Final call, all women's 4x2 teams. Please report to the tent.
No. That's the final call for our first track event. So I'm focusing on Steve.
No. Once they get lined up,
Start on Lee.
call the lineup. You want to make sure you get them all the way to about the 50. That's when we get to the
Yeah, I assumed as much. He said,
follow the runners.
no shit. Oh, right. So I was gonna follow the announcer. You can't even fucking.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the final results from the men's long jump. Placing sixth, Peter Wick, Meadowdale. Fifth, Cameron Eck, Edmonds Woodway. Fourth, Brandon Bach, Mount Lake Terrace. Third, Capaccio Cherry, Edmonds Woodway. Second, Raymond Free, Meadowdale. And in first place in men's varsity long jump from Linwood High School, his best jump, 20 feet even, Jerry Pham. And now the final results from women's discus. Placing sixth, Elizabeth Jones, Linwood. Fifth, Kauai Pialani, Linwood. Fourth, Madison Sadler, Mount Lake Terrace. Third, Charlotte Johns, Meadowdale. Second, Isabella Yunson, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in the women's discus from Edmonds Woodway High School, her best throw, 127 feet even, Vernice Keys. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your final results from men's shot put. Placing sixth, Zach Kadri, Mount Lake Terrace. Fifth, Alex Brown, Edmonds Woodway. Fourth, Ben Panusik, Meadowdale. Third, Tyler McAtee, Edmonds Woodway. Placing second, Harris Kutuk, Linwood. And in first place in men's shot put from Linwood High School, his best put, 46 feet, 1 inch, Jake Laban. Coaches, we are about ready to get the women's 4x200 meter relay underway. If we can get our coaches to their exchange zones, please. We'll need a representative from Mount Lake Terrace and Linwood in exchange zone 1. Representatives from Edmonds Woodway and Meadowdale at the finish line. Participants, this is the first call for the women's 3,200 meter. First call, women's 3,200. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still looking for a representative in Exchange Zone 1 from Mount Lake Terrace High School. Can we get our Mount Lake Terrace representative to Exchange Zone 1 for the ladies 4x2? Ladies, if I could have your attention, please. This is the third and final call for the women's 3,200 meter. Final call, women's 3,200. We are also ready to begin the women's junior varsity long jump. This will be the one and only call for the ladies' junior varsity long jump.
Welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. My name is Ben Iman. Sorry about those technical difficulties. We are back now, about to begin our first track event of the day, which is the women's 4x200 relay. Your teams for this event for Edmonds Woodway: Kira Hicks, Ella Spillane, Hannah Hicks, and Gabby Chappell. They'll be in lane 1. For Linwood is Daja Lester, Laura Stump, Adina Yeman, and Samara Stolito. They'll be in lane 2. Meadowdale, Catherine Doe, Samantha Douglas, Emily Matheson, and Adriana Valdez. And for Mount Lake Terrace, Hein Fouquet, Alexandria Gilmore, Delaney Harrell, and Alexia Dellinger. And we're underway. Terrace has the early lead. Looks like Meadowdale is closing here as we're coming in on the first exchange. Got handoffs. Bit slow for each team. That's Ella Spillane, Alexandria Gilmore, Samantha Douglas, and Laura Stump. They come around the corner. And it's Elena Spillane of Edmonds Woodway who's taking a big lead. Meadowdale in second. Linwood and Mount Lake Terrace coming back in third and fourth. Into the third handoff. And Edmonds Woodway has opened up an easy lead here in the 4x200. It's Hannah Hicks in the lead. Meadowdale is gaining on Linwood. Emily Matheson has caught up with Adina Yaman. Mount Lake Terrace struggling behind. Here, into the final handoff.
Fingers up if you can hear me.
Clean for Linwood. Coming around the final turn is Gabby Chappell, a sophomore for Edmonds Woodway. And Gabby Chappell can coast in the first event of the day. Will go to the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. Samara Stolito in for Linwood. Adriana Valdez will finish for Meadowdale in third. And Mount Lake Terrace will come in fourth.
Gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. This is the first call for men's discus. First call, men's varsity discus.
About to move into our second event of the day. It will be the women's 3200. Michaela Pivick for Linwood in lane 2. Stephanie Warbolowski for Edmonds Woodway in lane 3. Yukino Parley for Edmonds Woodway in 4. Catherine Gustafson of Mount Lake
Can you
Terrace
guys hear me?
in 5.
Ladies, could I have your
Can you get a
attention,
camera on
please?
me?
This is the first call
Brooke
for
Schroeder of
women's
Linwood in
shot
6th.
put.
Isabel Callan
First call,
for
women's
Edmonds Woodway in
varsity
7th.
shot
And Vesta
put.
Bumgardner in lane 8 for Mount Lake Terrace. Looks like we had a false start to the beginning of the 3200. The runners will return. Again in the lanes. Lane 2, Pivick. Lane 3, Warbolowski. Lane 4, Parley. Lane 5, Gustafson. Lane 6, Schroeder. Lane 7, Callan. And lane 8 will be Bumgardner. About to get underway. In the women's 3200. They're off. Follow them, Greg. Follow them.
Participants, if I could have your attention, please. This is the second call for the men's discus. Second call, men's varsity discus. We would also like to announce the second call for women's shot put. Second call, women's varsity shot put.
Coming in with the first lap of the 3200, it's the Edmonds Woodway tandem in first. 7 laps to go here in the women's 3200. Now we're going to go
Okay,
to
the
Steve
first
Willits
running event of the day
on the
is in the
field.
books. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if we're on. We are on. Excellent. And we've got the first 4 winners of the day. Before we talk to the girls, let's talk to the coach, Rick Philman. Coach, 148 for the girls. Interesting in that the wind's starting to pick up all of a sudden, too.
Oh, yeah, no, our 1 and 3 had headwinds going down the backstretch, and 2 and 4 had tailwinds. So, that's pretty stiff. I mean, that headwind is very stiff for those girls to run into. Our normal number 1 actually got a concussion and wasn't able to run today. So we went to our next girl up, and she ran great for us.
And your next girl up's only a freshman, right?
Yeah, freshman. Younger sister of Hannah here.
Let's go talk to the freshman then. Kira Hicks, nice job getting your team out to an early lead there. Tell me about the first leg of the race.
It was kind of tough. I mean, I'm not necessarily used to running a 200 that much, and my next race is like the 300, so it's fun running, but still tired.
Still tired, still catching her breath. Ella Spillane, nice job for you. Tell me a little bit about your run out there today.
I just got the baton and go, I guess. Try to push it because you have team members depending on you.
And it worked out well. And then Hannah Hicks, obviously a little sister running with you. Little sister, tall sister, but on the team today too as well.
Gentlemen,
So no worries, you knew she could handle it, right?
The first
Yeah,
call
pretty much.
for men's
She got in
pole
those
vault.
blocks, and I was like, she's got
First
to get
call,
those legs going,
men's
and
pole
they'll
vault.
take her where she needs to go. So.
It seemed to take everybody where they needed to go. Nice big lead, and then finishing it off, Gabby Chappelle. Gabby, a nice lead for you going into it. You had to feel pretty comfortable at that point, although you still had to run your own race too, right?
I mean, yeah, I felt pretty good once I got the
Participants,
baton.
at this
Like Ella, I
time,
just
we
had
would like
run
to announce
fast,
the
do what I
third
can. I didn't
and
know where
final
anyone
call
was around
for
me, but I still
men's
pushed myself,
discus.
see if we could get a new
Final
best time for
call,
the season.
men's discus.
How did we finish? Were
We
we
would also
happy with
like
the
to
time,
announce
or
the third and
satisfied? I
final
know
call
the
for
winds were kind of
women's
picking up.
shot
Ella,
put.
you've been doing this for a while now. How did
Final
you feel about
call.
the time out there?
This kind of meet, I'm just happy for placement and whether or not we get our handoffs good. We're hopefully going to go for a faster time next week, but today was awesome, especially with picking up a runner who hasn't ran that much. So, yeah, I'm happy with the time. Happy with the girls.
And real quick, I'll just go right down the line. How many different events do we have coming up for each of you? And we'll start with you, Kara. What are you doing?
After this,
And the events are?
300 hurdles, long jump, high jump.
Okay, and Gabby?
I still have the 100, 200, and the 4x1 for the day.
And Ella?
Same thing as Gabby, 1, 2, and 4x1.
So we'll be watching you two go against one another. And then Hannah.
Long jump, triple, and the 4x1.
Okay, and you doing high jump today too, or no? Or,
No, not today.
Okay, so she's taking that off. But first and foremost, they got a victory here. Guys, back up to you.
Call for the women's 100-meter hurdles. Second call, all hurdlers, please make your way to the tent for check-in. Ladies, could I have your attention, please? Would Edna Yamain of Linwood High School please report to long jump? Once again, Edna Yamain, please report to women's long jump.
Women's 3200, we're at the final lap of the women's 3200.
And Edmonds Woodway won by like 3 seconds.
Participants, if I could have your attention, please. This is the third and final call for the men's 110-meter hurdles. Final call for the women's 100-meter hurdles. All hurdlers, if you have not done so, you have 1 minute to report to the tent.
Coming around turn 4 and into the home stretch is Malia Pivic. And down the final 100, she will cross the line and win the women's 3200. Both Edmonds Woodway runners, Stephanie Robolowski and Isabel Cowan, will finish second and third. And that will be your top three for the women's 3200. Again, it's Pivic of Linwood taking the number 1 spot, Robolowski of Edmonds Woodway in second, and Cowan of Edmonds Woodway in third.
And Alexandria Gilmore of Mount Lake Terrace. Placing fourth, Miranda Dith, Meadowdale. Third, Kira Hicks, Edmonds Woodway. Second, Zoe Goodmanson, Mount Lake Terrace. And in first place in women's high jump from Edmonds Woodway High School, her best jump 5 feet 2 inches, Emily Huang. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the final results from women's discus.
Coming around turn 4, Isabel Callan of Edmonds Woodway.
Women's discus results are not quite ready. We'll move on to final results from men's javelin.
She'll come in, cross the line in
Placing
5th place.
6th, Austin Bach, Mount Lake Terrace. 5th, Tyler McAtee, Edmonds Woodway. 4th, Zach Plummer, Meadowdale.
And coming
3rd,
across the
Israel
line
Muella,
for Terrace in the
Linwood.
3200 is Vesta Bumgardner.
2nd,
in 6th.
Connor Bjornsson, Linwood.
Catherine Gustafson.
And in first place in men's javelin from Mount Lake Terrace High School, his best throw, 173 feet, 5 inches, Brandon Bach.
Catherine Gustafson did not finish on that one. So your final results, women's 3200 meters. Michaela Pivic of Linwood will take first. Stephanie Robolowski of Edmonds Woodway in second, with Yukino Parlay of Edmonds Woodway in third. Brooke Schroeder of Linwood will become fourth. Isabel Callan fifth. Vesta Bumgardner sixth. Women's 3200 is now
Ladies
complete.
and gentlemen, here are your final results from the women's 4x200 meter relay.
Camera for me.
Placing fourth, Mount Lake Terrace. Your third place team, Meadowdale. Placing second with a time of 1 minute 57.22 seconds, Linwood. And your first place team in the ladies 4x2, the team of Gabby Chappelle, Ella Spillane, Hannah Hicks, and Kyra Hicks. Their time, 1 minute 48.75 seconds, the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. Participants, if
All
I
right,
could
and
have
we
your
are back
attention,
after
please.
the
This
women's
is the
3,200 meter race. We've got first, second, and third place with us right now. Malia Pivic coming away with the victory. Malia, how?
It was nice and brisk. The first mile was smartly led by the Edmonds Woodway duo, and so I thank them for that, for blocking the wind. And then
There was some strategy there.
yeah, they worked really well with tempoing off each other and pushing the pace, which for opposite laps. So I thank you for that.
And let's talk to Yukino Parle real quick. Yuki, I know a little bit of a rough season for you. You've been a little bit banged up, but how were you feeling out there today?
I know that wasn't really my best race, but it was interesting. We were actually planning to follow her, so that didn't go quite as well, or didn't go really quite as we expected. But yeah, it was interesting. Good experience.
All in all, a good run for you today, and you're. Okay.
I'd say that's pretty decent. Yeah.
I know 1 and 2 at state last year for the two of you in this event. Does this happen to be your favorite event, or 1600? Where does this rank for you?
I'd say I like it because I probably had the most success in it, but it's probably I usually like shorter races, maybe the 4x4, just because it's more like a team-oriented kind of race. So yeah.
Okay, and then Stephanie, first of all, you won the Easton a couple weeks ago. That was a pretty big deal. Tell me about that experience.
It was a lot of fun, honestly. I worked with Olivia Meter-Yetters and another one of our teammates, and we pulled 1 and 2, and that was a really great experience to work with a teammate in a big race like that.
And when you get out to a race like this, I mean, and this was kind of, and I was mentioning it to the guys up in the booth earlier, I think this was the race I was looking forward to the most, just because of the fact that there's the three of you, and I know Olivia doing other events today, but she's always strong in the 3200. It's got to be exciting for you knowing that you've got so many great teammates, and also Malia at the crosstown rival to run this race against.
It's great, it really is.
So now, what are the goals moving forward for you guys in terms of districts next week? Are we feeling pretty good about everything the way, Stephanie, I'll ask you that question too. Are going into districts, are you feeling like you're kind of peaking at the right time right now, or?
I hope so. I've not done this. This is my first year doing track, so I'm not exactly sure.
I know she was a tennis player before, right? So tell me what it's been like. Have you guys been able to coach her up a little bit and give her some pointers?
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't run any of these races since middle school. She hasn't even run the 32 in middle school, so it's fun to be like, oh, you lap and little things like that you don't really know until you race it.
Emilia, for you, expectations, goals coming in. I know the two of you had a great battle at state last year, and you finished second place. I've got to think state's obviously one of the things you're really gunning for this year. I mean, what are you aiming for times at this point? Place? What's your status going into the rest of the month?
I prefer times. If I PR and take 8th or 9th, doesn't bother me. I'm just hoping to PR and stay healthy with the 3 weeks we have left for state.
Three of them staying healthy, and more races to come tonight, right?
110 men's 110-meter hurdles. Edmonds Woodway's Nick Hollingsworth is in the lead, followed by two Linwood runners. And Hollingsworth will take it. Excuse me, that's Richardson. Richardson will take it. Looked like Aaron Richardson for Edmonds Woodway who took that one. Shortly followed by Ian McGotry and Zach Plummer of Meadowdale. Also running that was Jerry Pham of Linwood and Elijah Edwards of Linwood. Our next event will be men's 110-meter hurdles junior varsity. In lane 2, Arrington Miller of Edmonds Woodway. In lane 3, Aaron Park of Meadowdale. In lane 4, Tyler Dow of Linwood. In lane 5, Eric Vo of Linwood. In lane 6, Nathan Jennings of Mount Lake Terrace. In lane 7, Quinton Lagias of Edmonds Woodway. And we're off in men's 110-meter junior varsity. One of the two Linwood runners in front, followed up by one of his other by his teammate and a Meadowdale runner. That Meadowdale runner is Aaron Park in third. Eric Vo in second. Tyler Dow in first. Nathan Jennings, Quinton Lausch, and Arrington Miller all coming behind them. Our next event of the day will be the women's 100-meter hurdles, varsity level. In lane 1, Katie Hopper of Edmonds Woodway. In lane 2, Catherine Dow of Meadowdale. In lane 3, Jocelyn Pruner of Meadowdale. In lane 4, Rita Shakarov of Linwood. In lane 5, Sauron Allman of Linwood. In lane 6, Logan Otani of Mount Lake Terrace. In lane 7, Jenna Riley of Edmonds Woodway. That'll be the women's 100-meter hurdles.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your final results from the men's 110-meter hurdles. Placing 6th, Nick Hollingsworth, Edmonds Woodway. 5th, Zach Plummer, Meadowdale. 4th, Ian McGahee, Meadowdale. 3rd, Jerry Pham, Linwood. 2nd, Eli Edwards, Linwood. And in first place in the men's 110-meter hurdles from Edmonds Woodway High School, his time, 15.28 seconds, Aaron Richardson.
Those were the results of the men's 110-meter hurdles, varsity level. First, Aaron Richardson of Edmonds Woodway. Second, Eli Edwards of
Participants,
Linwood.
if I could have your attention, please. This is the third call for the men's
and third of Linwood, Jerry Pham. That's Richardson of Woodway going 1, Edwards and Pham of Linwood going 2 and 3. Those are the results of the men 110-meter hurdles varsity level.
And welcome back on from the Sound Live Sports Network. We are watching the women's 110-meter hurdle. No big surprise here. Rita Sakharov running out of that fourth lane. Third place finisher at state last year, also took a third her sophomore year, and she will easily win this race. Saran Alma, her senior teammate, taking second. Should mention the other girls who were hurdling that one. We'll mention that again here. Kate Hopper from Edmonds Woodway, the junior, was in lane 1. Catherine Doe from Meadowdale, sophomore, in lane 2. Jocelyn Prunier from Meadowdale, who is a sophomore, was in lane 3. We mentioned Rita and Saran all in lane 4 and 5. Logan Atani from Mount Lake Terrace, also a sophomore, in lane 6. And rounding out the field was Jenna Riley from Edmonds Woodway in lane 7. And that means that our next events coming up are the men's 100-meter dash, varsity and junior varsity, followed by the varsity women's. Oh, we do have a women's 100-meter hurdle coming up for junior varsity as well, as I'm being told. But the next varsity events, anyway, are the men's 100-meter. So we do have one more girls' race. This will be a 3-contestant race in lanes 3, 4, and 5, as Reed Lyon from Mount Lake Terrace, the sophomore, will be in lane 3. Emily Matheson from Meadowdale, who is a senior, is in lane 4. And Kiana Apio from Edmonds Woodway in lane 5. Kiana, whose father, Kermit, local comedian who does quite a bit in terms of not only performing in the area, but also does quite a few charity events that help benefit schools within the Edmonds School District. We've seen him at various times in Mount Lake Terrace, Linwood, Edmonds, and Kiona, only a freshman, will be participating in this next race. Ben, how have we been doing up here?
We've been doing well. We've been doing well.
A little bit warmer up here than it is down on the field. I will say that.
That is for sure. It is warmer up here in the booth than it is down on the field.
You guys do have the window open, but it's a little bit chilly today. The clouds are getting very dark. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some form of precipitation before it's all said and done. And the wind, you heard Coach Philman talk about it earlier after the girls 4x200 race. It's been playing havoc a little bit. It's certainly affecting them when they do in fact get the headwind. Actually, this three-person race is now a two-person race, as Apio did not come to the blocks at all. Emily Matheson, the senior from Meadowdale, is going to take the victory here, with Reed Lyon coming in second. We're going to get back down to the field here momentarily. Try to catch up with Rita Sakharov. We always have fun talking to her. Again, she's just incredibly talented in the hurdles, especially in the 300. I think I just mentioned a minute ago she took third. That was not the 100. The 110 she took third in. It was the 300 she took third in. But nonetheless, she's also very talented at the one as well, as they start to clear the track a little bit here. And we're going to try to get some. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and mute for a moment here as Paul, our public address announcer. Well, actually, now that I stop, he stopped as well. So we are getting results throughout the day, and certainly we'll try to get some of those, as just numerous talented athletes out here today, and many of which are going to be vying for state championships. The discus, Vernice Keys, who took second in state last year, she's the favorite to win it this year from Edmonds Woodway. She's certainly going to be a tough one throughout the districts coming up here, as well as at state. And then Harris Cuddick from Linwood, always a threat as well. We've had a chance to talk to Harris a little bit throughout the last year or two, and Harris, another one who's favorite to win this year. He took third last year with a throw of 165 feet.
The first call for women's javelin. First call.
So we just heard public address announcer Paul Keene giving instructions to the participants here as we continue to get ready. Ben, first track meet for you to broadcast. So far, you having a good time here? There's quite a bit going on, isn't it? It's almost sensory overload at times.
Yeah, I mean, it can definitely be hard to track. I think the one challenge from up here, from a broadcaster's perspective, is keeping track who's who. Because, I mean, no numbers on uniforms, multiple people running from each school. It gets kind of confusing, so I think we've resorted to just let Paul kind of give us the results as they come in and stop trying to guess.
Well, especially on the distance races. Obviously, the other races, you get your lane numbers, and we have sheets that are handed to us, event sheets that give us that. But as far as the other runners out there on the course, it is a little bit difficult as we get ready for the 7th event of the day. It is the men's 100-meter dash, and this could be a very good race. Devin Boss in lane 4 for Linwood, as well as Alex Wynn in lane 5 and Elias Lynch in lane 3. Could be your favorites there, and we are going to have a runaway victory. It looks as though Devin Boss, who was the favorite coming in, he had a seed time of 11.37, and this year they do not have the electric clock out there for us, which we had right in front of us last year. But nonetheless, Devin, only a junior who's had a lot of success this year in the 100 thus far, putting on a nice little show there, pulling away from the field. In a field, like you said, you start to look at some of these seed times. Elias Lynch, who's in lane 3, was 11.64. He's only a junior as well out of Meadowdale. Alex Wynn, who's the teammate of Devin Boss from Linwood, and also only a sophomore. He had 11.58, and then you saw Marcus Dilworth from Edmonds Woodway in lane 6 with an 11.68. All of those guys, underclassmen, all running sub-12s this year. And again, that's going to be another category that we'll be watching for these guys to do well, not only in the Wesco South meet next week, but also perhaps a few of these guys even getting to state.
Yeah, and I mean, Devin Boss definitely took away with that one, but I feel like those 4 guys that you mentioned were right behind him and easily finished the line all together. So, I mean, that's going to be close to see who they call after Devin Boss.
Yeah, we will wait for Paul Keene to give us those numbers here shortly. We have the men's 100-meter dash coming up, the junior varsity. Go ahead and read you the lanes here. Lane number 1 will be Mount Lake Terrace's senior Matt Guardiano. Lane 2, Alan Boy, who's only a freshman at Meadowdale. Lane 3, Henry Shaw, the senior from Linwood. Lane 4, Thomas Whiteridge, junior from Edmonds Woodway. Lane 5, Dakota Bunker, who's a junior at Linwood. Lane 6, Jack Custer, who is a junior at Meadowdale. And lane 7, Jay Lasker, a freshman from Edmonds Woodway. Looking at the times here, and it's not going to change throughout the day. Usually your middle lanes are your faster times, your faster seed times, and they progressively get slower as you widen out, whether it's inside or outside. So your 4 and 5 lanes will generally be your fastest, 4, 5, and 6, as well as your 3, and then 7, 8, 1, 2. Generally those seed times are a little bit lower as these 8 gentlemen, or 7 rather, line up. They're in the blocks, and we await the gun. Nice jump out of lane 4 for Wattridge. He's pulling away, got the nice start, and never looked back. He's going to go all the way to victory, crossing the line. A nice battle for second place. It looked as though Henry Shaw from Linwood may have, in fact, stuck his head out just far enough to get Alan Boy as well as Dakota Bunker, who are also in there.
And I have a I have a did not
4th,
start.
Jocelyn Prunier, Meadowdale. Placing 3rd, Logan Otani, Mount Lake Terrace. 2nd, Saren Almau, Linwood. And in first place in the ladies' 100-meter hurdles from Linwood High School, her time 16.79 seconds, Rita Sakharov.
Not a big surprise there. Rita Sakharov pulling away rather easily on that one. And we've got a Jay Lasker, who's in lane 7, did not start on that previous race, so only 6 runners.
Placing 6th, Paca Marshall, Meadowdale. 5th, Gerandi Pacheco, Edmonds Woodway. 4th, Elias Lynch, Meadowdale. 3rd, Marcus Dilworth, Edmonds Woodway. 2nd, Alex Wynn, Linwood. And in first place in the men's 100-meter from Linwood High School, his time 11.59 seconds, Devin Boss.
Just got results there for the men's 100-meter DOS, a 100-meter dash, as we said, no surprise. Devin Boss will come in first. Alex Wynn of Linwood, his teammate, comes in second, and Marcus Dilworth of Edmonds Woodway comes in third. Looks like we're getting lined up for another 100-meter dash. This one will be women's.
So we've got the junior varsity coming up here. Tammy Lee in lane 1 from Linwood. Kylie Atani from Mount Lake Terrace in lane 2. Samantha Douglas in lane 3 from Meadowdale. Angie Olson, lane 4 for Edmonds Woodway. Paige Nibby from Edmonds Woodway in lane 5. Logan Atani from Mount Lake Terrace in lane 6.
I don't mean to interrupt you here, but that's the wrong race.
Oh, we did get the wrong race, didn't we?
Yes.
As we look up and see Rita Sakharov going across the start or the finish line, you were absolutely right. Not only was it the wrong race, it was the the wrong team that I thought was going to win there. So a nice
You're the
job.
right section. Just
I'm so used to Rita already running tonight that I thought we already had her.
Not done so. You have 1 minute to report. This is also the third and final call for women's javelin. Final call, women's varsity javelin.
So Rita pulling away for her second victory of the day, and we're going to try to get down and talk to her in a little bit too. As we mentioned, she will be running the 300 hurdles later on today, her best event, the event that she really has a shot at winning a state championship. That's coming up as event number 21 on our track schedule, as we just had event number 9. So she's got a little bit of time to rest. Not a lot. And now I don't even need to read the lanes for event 10 because I already read them. We'll get the one name we didn't get. That was Emma Magahi, who is a freshman at Meadowdale. She'll be in lane 7. So you got the Atani sisters from Mount Lake Terrace. You got a couple freshmen in lanes 4 and 5 coming up. Angie Olson and Paige Nibby. The two fastest times, I might add, as far as the seed times are concerned. This is actually has the potential to be a very good race between lanes 3, 4, and 5, all within 4/100ths of a second of each other for their seed times. The two Edmonds Woodway freshmen and the Meadowdale juniors, Samantha Douglas. And Logan Atani in lane 6, only about a quarter of a second behind them, so perhaps she could even get a nice jump and challenge the other three. We'll see what happens here. Next event coming up after this will be the men's 1,600 meter race.
looks like Logan Otani and as well as Angie Olson. Will be Angie Olson.
It's Olson finishing in first place. It was Kylie Atani in lane 2 who took second place, and then looked as though it might have been Samantha Douglas even, perhaps in third. We'll get those times here in a minute. So again, the men's 1,600 coming up, and this is a race that we expect to see some nice performances out of a trio of Edmonds Woodway runners. Matthew Park, Sam McLuhan, who have both competed at the state level in the past, and Lucas LaCambra, who had a nice year as a freshman last year, now a sophomore, and he'll be taking the mantle next year as Park and McLuhan both set to graduate. But LaCambra also putting up some nice times. All of these guys capable of running sub 4:30s in the 1,600. And looking at last year's results, Park ran a 4:23 at state, which gave him the 11th place finish. Finished 7th in the 3,200, which is a little more of his strength, if you will, but already showing a seed time that's 5 seconds faster than what he did at state last year. So he's certainly somebody who can compete with just about anybody, and if he's pushing himself hard enough, this should be a race that he can pull away from a little. We'll be curious to see if he sticks with Sam and Lucas perhaps for the first lap or two of this race, and see if the three of them can maybe kind of push each other. I'm sure they do that quite a bit already anyway.
And an interesting thing in this race, Mount Lake Terrace putting 2 freshmen up, Josh Beam and Alex Williams. See how they can compare with some of these guys that going up 3, 4 years older than you. Be definitely interesting to see how they compare.
Yeah, so this race, we already mentioned the top 3. Colin Nichol is a junior. He runs for Meadowdale. He's got the 4th fastest seed time. Jaden, is it Lafries? Lafries,
yeah.
One of your fellow sophomore classmates there at Mount Lake Terrace. 4:35.92, so he's right up there as well. Cameron Sanders from Meadowdale, who performs in a few different events here. He's going to run the 1,600 for Meadowdale. He's got a seed time of 4:37. You already mentioned Beam, who should be the number 8 runner out there. Beck Fosberg from Edmonds Woodway, number 9. Alex Williams, in fact, is number 10 listed here, although the numbers are often hard to see from up here. Drew Thomas from Linwood will be running with the number 11. He is a senior at Linwood. Dimitri Gonzalez, a junior at Linwood. This is your number 12 runner. Jose Andre from Mount Lake Terrace, sophomore, number 13. Noah McCarty, a junior from Mount Lake Terrace, is number 14. Matthew Hagan, a senior at Meadowdale, is number 15. Spencer Willard from Linwood, also a senior, is your number 16. Kyle Hastler from Meadowdale, a senior, wearing the number 17. And Alex Lee rounds up the field wearing the number 18, and he is a junior. 4-lap race coming up, and they are off. Okay, and we are going into the third corner of lap number 1. Again, this is a 4-lap race.
Woodway.
So far, 3 Woodway runners all out in front. It looks like Park in the lead, McLuhan in second. It's LaCambra in third. Cameron Saunders right now, 4th place. And we got a Mount Lake Terrace runner in 5th. Lap number 1 in the books. The Warrior Trio pulling a little away from the other runners right now, keeping a nice steady pace. And it looks as though the Mount Lake Terrace runner,
Jaden Lofries.
Is that Lofries? Okay.
Lofries out there.
Pulling ahead of Sanders for 4th place right now.
Looks like that Woodway trio is kind of starting to break.
Currently have about a 15 to 20 yard lead on Lofries. Coming around the corner here. Forgot to start the stopwatch in this one, so we'll just kind of, again, we were used to having the electronic scorekeeper with us last year. We don't have the luxury of that then on the field this time, so we won't have a time until Paul Keene, the announcer, gives us one afterwards as Park continues to lead. McLuhan in 2nd place, LaCambra in 3rd.
The back of this race kind of starting to break up themselves. The front runners have really opened up, especially from their trailer group, but from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, no real surprise here so far as the 1, 2, and 3 as they were projected, kind of holding true right now. Park trying to pull away a little bit from McLuhan even. He's got about a 5 or 6 yard lead on him. LaCambra running right off of McLuhan's back right shoulder. They go into the 3rd quarter, heading towards the 4th. Just about at the halfway point of this race. Lofries starting to widen out a little bit from Sanders as well. Then you've got to go back a little further for the number 6 runner.
Is that Colin Knickel? Final lap bell has been rung.
That might even be Sanders there, to be honest. And Sanders and Nickel, not sure which one's which there.
Meadowdale is running 5.6 though.
We do know that.
You do know that.
And all of a sudden, LaCambra putting on a little bit of a push as he starts to get ever so much closer to Matthew Park.
Looks like Beck Forsberg has overtaken Josh Beam a little farther back.
Park continuing to hold about a 4 or 5 yard lead right now. McLuhan fading back a little bit at this point. It looks as though he's going to take the number 3 spot. Here comes Park into the final turn. LaCambra right behind him. Unless LaCambra's got a massive kick in him at the end here, it's going to be Matthew Park, and it's not going to happen as Park starts to widen that lead even more down to the final 20 yards. Matthew Park is your winner, Lucas LaCambra second, and Sam McLuhan will finish in 3rd.
Yeah, and as you said coming into this, just like we expected, to Woodway 1, 2, 3. That looks like Colin Kneckel in 4, Jaden Lofries in 5. So just as the seed times projected, it's the top 5 runners finishing top 5. Looks like it's going to be Beam who comes in at 6 from Mount Lake Terrace. Not sure which Edmonds Woodway runner that is behind him. It's an Edmonds Woodway runner. Alex Williams of Terrace will finish 8th.
Beck Fosberg that just passed a minute ago there.
Our first Linwood runner has finished. I believe that to be Thomas Drew, or Drew Thomas.
And now we get ready for the women's 1600 coming up. Another race featuring quite a few great distant runners. Girls whose names we've gotten to know not only here in track, but also in the fall on cross-country teams. As the men's 1600 continue to finish, I'll give you the field for that race right now. Malia Pivic, who again is going to be in contention to win state this year.
Won her first event today.
Olivia Meter-Yetter. I talked to Olivia down on the field a few moments ago when we were down there and just asking why she wasn't in the 3200. I think she was just kind of laying low a little bit. She will certainly run the 3200 when it comes to the Westco event next week, as well as into the state in a few weeks. She's going to be out there. Stephanie Robluski, who also had a nice finish. She finished 3rd in that 3200 race. She'll be out there. Sophia Nelson, who's been running for Mount Lake Terrace and running strong ever since she was a freshman. She's now a senior. Joan Park from Mount Lake Terrace, a junior. Alyssa Hershey from Edmonds Woodway, who is a sophomore. And then you've got 2 Linwood freshmen, Christina Savinkova and Haley Firkenstad. So we've got 8 runners set to participate in the 1600 meter. But again, Malia, Olivia, Stephanie, all 3 of them runners who have had very solid 2017 campaigns, and all 3 no doubt will be in Tacoma in a few weeks at the state tournament. It's again, it's one of those situations where you want to do well here. You certainly want to take a trophy. You want to end up on the podium. But for a lot of these runners, some of these girls, much bigger races to come. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to place well to get to state first and foremost, and that starts next week. And then after that, to perhaps place or even win at state. And we'll see if Olivia, who took the 3200 off, might have a little bit of an advantage now, since she did not have to run earlier, and Malia did just about 30 minutes ago. So far we see Malia out to the lead. Olivia Meter-Yetter right behind her in 2nd place. Stephanie Robluski coming up now on 3rd. And we heard earlier, Malia liked that strategy of letting the Edmonds Woodway runners run along with her. They ran in front of her for the first part of the 3200, trying to block some of that wind, or at least she let them to block the wind. Now the sky is clearing up, so certainly maybe that strategy is a little bit different for this race as opposed to what it was not that long ago when the clouds were out and the wind was blowing. So Malia certainly not worried about having to run into any kind of a headwind right now. Meter-Yetter coming up alongside of her here. Robluski trailing behind them in 3rd. We've got Sophia Nelson back in 4th. Right behind her, Joan Park. So really nothing too shocking thus far. 2 Linwood freshmen, along with Alyssa Hershey in the back. We mentioned earlier too, Stephanie Robluski, who's in 3rd right now. She's a rookie.
Triple jump.
She's a rookie right now, and tennis player last year, really just kind of coming onto the scene and coming into her own, taking 1st place at the very prestigious Eason Invitational just 2 weeks ago. And Olivia Meter-Yetter, who is currently right on the outside of Malia Pivic, she finished 2nd in that race, so the 2 of them really pushing one another. And Pivic continues to lead, but the other 2 not too far back as the 3 of them together pulling away from the field right now, and they're out to about a 35-yard lead on everybody else. just to be expected. Pivik, who did not run this event at the state tournament last year. She'd gotten a little bit banged up at the Wesco Championships. Certainly this is an event that she'll be competing in down in Tacoma.
The rest of the pack has fallen off here. There's a wide gap between the front three and the rest of the runners.
This is also a race that Malia and her sister Michaela finished third and fourth in, respectively, 2 years ago when Malia was a sophomore and Michaela was a junior. Michaela finishing ahead of Malia by 0.2 of a second for third and fourth place. Losing out to the two Holy Names girls that year. One of which, Jordan Oakes, I believe she's still doing her thing over at Holy Names, and somebody who all three of these girls might be running up against again in Tacoma this year. And Pivik now pulling away a little bit from Meter Yetter. Now has a good, now we'll call it about a 10 or 12 yard lead. Wroblewski even further back. Who knows, maybe Malia was just getting warmed up with that 3,200.
Yeah, I mean,
we get the final bell, 1 lap to go. Pivik very comfortably out in front. She heads into turn 1, and all three girls kind of spreading themselves out from one another, and then you have to go way back. Matter of fact, it's about 90 to 100 yards back to find your 4th and 5th place runners, both from Mountlake Terrace. The men's 4x100 meter coming up after this, followed by the women's 4x100 meter. Plenty of action going on here. We look out to the north side of us, to the right. We've got throwing events taking place.
I believe that's discus out there. Shot put also out there.
Over near the softball field for Edmonds Woodway. Pivik continues to pull away as she now comes out of turn 3 and heads towards turn 4.
Easy lead.
And Malia Pivik, for the second time today, will be victorious as she comes into the backstretch. All of a sudden, Olivia Meter-Yetter trying to put on a little kick. It's going to be too little too late. She will take second place as Pivik looks to finish up the final 25 yards. And she coasts into the finish line with the victory. Olivia Meter-Yetter in second. Stephanie Wroblewski finishes third.
Here are your final results from the women's 100 meter. Placing 6th, Cecily Love, Meadowdale. 5th, Deja Lester, Linwood. 4th, Miranda Diff, Meadowdale. Placing 3rd, Gabby Chappelle, Edmonds Woodway. 2nd, Ellis Spillane, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in the ladies 100 meter from Linwood High School, her time 13.15 seconds, Rita Sakharov. Your women's team scores following the 100 meter. Your 4th place team, the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. In 3rd place with 41.5 points, the Meadowdale Mavericks. 2nd place with 57 total team points, the Linwood Royals. And in 1st place, Edmonds Woodway Warriors with 90 total team points. All right, coaches, we are now ready for the 4x100 meter relay. If we can get our representatives to their exchange zones, please. In exchange zone 1, we'll need Mountlake Terrace and Linwood. Exchange zone 2, Edmonds Woodway and Meadowdale. And exchange zone 3, Mountlake Terrace and Meadowdale. We would also like to announce the first call for the men's and women's 400 meter. First call, men's and women's 400.
So there you have the final results from the earlier race, and we now get ready for the 13th event of the day. For one of these teams, it won't be a not lucky event. It's the 4x100 meter relay. Meadowdale will be in lane 2. We've got Andy Lee, Alan Boy, Max Kapperman, and Jack Custer. Lake Terrace will be in lane 3. Patrick Malam will be the lead runner, followed by the box. Austin Bach, who will be number 2. Brandon Bach, 3. And then Alex Woodard, the junior, will be the anchor runner. In lane 4, and this will be a tough team to beat here, Linwood. You've got Jerry Pham, Tyler Doe, Alex Wynn, and Devin Boss. 4 very fast runners, and they have a seat time of 45:01. Edmonds Woodway, also a strong team. You've got Gerandi Pacheco, Jared Yu, Thomas Watridge, and Chris Tilbury. And then finally in lane 6, another Edmonds Woodway team, their B team, Ryan Conley, Jack Kramer, Jai Lasker. Did we get it right finally?
Jai Lasker.
Jai Lasker, there we go.
And he is out there this time. He is.
And Marcus Dilworth. Perhaps he was just waiting for the relay. He just wanted to get a little extra stretching in and get ready to go.
Get ready for the relay, I guess.
So that is your 4x100, and then we'll have the women's 4x100 after that.
Coaches and participants, we'd just like to remind you not to leave your implements at the field events. Make sure you do collect all of your implements as soon as everyone is done and take them with you.
Paul Keene letting us know to return your implements or take your implements. Something you don't hear in other sports.
Nope.
First time I've heard that all year, that a PA announcer has told somebody to take their implements with them.
Yep, definitely.
5th, Liz Jones, Linwood. Placing 4th, Madison Sadler, Mount Lake Terrace. 3rd, Mackenzie Davis, Mount Lake Terrace. 2nd, Victoria Keys, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in women's shot put from Edmonds Woodway High School, her best put 36 feet, 4 3/4 inches, Bernice Keys.
So the Keys sisters, Bernice taking first, and she's a senior, younger sister of the freshman, taking second. And again, we think Keys...
Participants, this is the second call for the men's and women's 400 meter. Second call, men's and women's 400.
We think Keys could be a very strong candidate. Bernice, that is, not Victoria. Bernice could be a very strong candidate to win the discus this year, and shot put she'll be up there as well. As we once again get ready for the 14th event of the day. Is that what it is? No, we're on number 13 still. This is the unlucky number. Ben, what you got?
I have the race about to start, but a terrace man sitting in front of the other terrace runner.
Perhaps a hurdle?
Perhaps. Maybe Patrick wants to start this off with a little flip.
Angelo thought I was serious. He's making sure that I know he's holding his blocks, which I was aware of. I didn't think he was going to literally try to hurdle him to start.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that
can
make
you
it
please have
interesting.
it quiet for the start of the race?
That was not geared at us, by the way,
No.
for Paul King. But
That is a Patrick thing to do. If it was Patrick, it'd be a flip, not just a hurdle.
Imagine the YouTube hits we would get later on if he would, in fact, flip and then start running over.
Runner flips to begin 4x100.
I'm not expecting it to happen, but I'm hoping for it. At this point, who isn't? As the runners now getting ready to get into the blocks. Linwood and Edmonds Woodway in lanes 4 and 5, the favorites to win this race. Linwood with a sophomore, 2 juniors, and a senior. Edmonds Woodway, 3 juniors and 1 senior. It's the A team in lane 5 anyway. This is the team we'll be keeping a close eye on. And there's the gun to start the race. The first leg of the 4x100 is underway. Linwood's Jerry Pham getting off to a nice start. Jerry, sure, a little bit upset as he didn't get quite the race he wanted in the 110-meter hurdle earlier. Here you go, the third leg of the race now, heading into the third corner. Linwood out in the lead. Edmonds Woodway trying to chase him down.
That's Alex Wynn holding a lead over Thomas Watkridge. They do have a flag up on that third exchange. 2 flags up, not quite sure. So we'll see what happens. But on the track, Glenwood heading to victory, and they will defeat Edmonds Woodway by about 10 yards as Devin Boss crosses the finish line first, followed by Chris Tilbury. Participants, this is the third and final call for the men's and women's 400-meter. Final call, all 400 runners. If you have not done so, you have 1 minute to report to the tent. Man, I'm gonna leave you be up here. I'm gonna head back down the track and get some interviews and have a little fun out there and see if we can't talk to some runners with sunshine over our heads, since we were doing everything earlier. It finally came out with dark clouds, so we'll hopefully get some smiley, shining faces. And then see you and Angela come on a little bit. All right, women's long jump. Placing 6th, Edna Yamain, Linwood. 5th, Samra Gebrawat, Mount Lake Terrace. 4th, Lila Guerrero, Mount Lake Terrace. 3rd, Kyra Hicks, Edmonds Woodway. 2nd, Miranda Diff, Meadowdale. And in first place in women's long jump from Edmonds Woodway, her best jump, 15 feet 11 inches, Hannah Hicks. And now, the final results from men's discus. Placing 6th, Caleb Monias, Meadowdale. 5th, Noah Merton, Mount Lake Terrace. 4th, Thaddeus Merton, Mount Lake Terrace. Placing 3rd, Connor Bjornsson, Linwood. 2nd, Tyler McAtee, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in men's discus from Linwood High School, his best throw, 169 feet, 1 inch, Harris Kuta. Your men's total team scores through the discus, placing 4th with 35 team points, the Meadowdale Mavericks. In 3rd place with 36 points, the Hawks of Mount Lake Terrace. In 2nd place with 55 points, Edmonds Woodway. And in 1st place with 91 total team points, the Linwood Royals. About to get started here with our 14th event of the day. It's the women's 4x100 relay. We only have 2 teams in this. Edmonds Woodway, Angie Olson will start. Elena Spillane will be the 2nd runner. Hannah Hicks the 3rd runner, and Gabby Chappelle the 4th runner. And for Linwood, Deja Lester will start. Laura Stump will run 2nd. Edna Yamain will run 3rd, and Samara Stolito will run 4th. Only 2 teams in this women's 4x100 meter relay. Coming around turn 3 is Edmonds Woodway in the lead. Hannah Hicks, their 3rd runner. She'll pass.
Gabby Chappelle is going to come down the straightaway. And in this two-horse race, Edmonds Woodway will coast to a victory in the 4x100 relay. And the only other team competing, Linwood, will come up in second. Our next event to get ready for will be the men's 400-meter dash. People to be looking at this one. In lane 4, Elias Lynch of Meadowdale.
Participants, this is the first call for the men's and women's 300-meter hurdles. First call, men's and women's 300 hurdles.
People to look out for, again, Elias Lynch in lane 4 for Meadowdale. Comes in with a C time of 53.79. Also got to look for Justin Leon Rendon. Comes in with a C time of 54.88.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your final
Linwood.
results from the women's 1600 meter. Placing 6th, Christina Savinkova, Linwood. 5th, Sophia Nelson, Mount Lake Terrace. 4th, Joan Park, Mount Lake Terrace. Placing 3rd, Stephanie Wroblewski, Edmonds Woodway. 2nd, Olivia Meter-Yetter, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in the women's mile from Linwood High School, her time 5 minutes, 9.8 seconds, Malia Pivic.
Those are the results from the women's 1600 meter, reassuring what we had already believed to be. So I'll give you a lanes across the way. In lane 1 will be Ransom Gardner from Edmonds Woodway, a senior.
This is the second call.
In lane 2, Dakota Bunger, a junior from Linwood. In lane 3, Jared Yu, a senior from Edmonds Woodway. Lane 4, Elias Lynch, Meadowdale. Lane 5, Justin Leon Rendon, Linwood. Lane 6, Daisley Love, Meadowdale. 7 and 8 will be to the both terrace runners, Jackson Merritt and Mitchell Gibbons, a sophomore and a senior. So we're about to get underway here in the men's 400-meter dash. We are waiting on Elias Lynch and Desley Love to take their positions. Runners getting ready now. And they're off for the men's 400-meter dash. And that's Desley Love of Meadowdale who breaks out early. Elias Lynch closely chasing him down. As well as either Justin Leon Rendon or Dakota Bunger up there. And now it is Elias Lynch who is pulled away. Coming down the stretch around turn 4. And it will be, indeed, Elias Lynch who starts to pull away. It looks like it's Desley Love in 4th. Justin Rendon Leon coming strong, but also coming strong is Jared Yu of Edmonds Woodway. And that looked to be a Meadowdale 1-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. Participants, coaches, if you could help with this. We need to keep the football field area clear. Only participants warming up or cooling down are allowed on the football field. All other participants, please come back into the bleachers.
Quick announcement from public address announcer Paul Keene.
And now, here are the final results from the men's 1,600 meter. Placing 6th, Josh Beam, Mount Lake Terrace. 5th, Cameron Sanders, Meadowdale. 4th, Jaden Lafries, Mount Lake Terrace. 3rd, Colin Knetchell, Meadowdale. 2nd, Lucas Lacambra, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in the men's mile from Edmonds Woodway High School, his time, 4 minutes, 23.2 seconds, Matt Park.
Results from earlier, the men's 1,600 meter there. And now we'll look at another men's 400 meter dash. Will be Isaac Dark of Mount Lake Terrace in lane 1. David Savinkov of Linwood in lane 2.
Participants, this is the third and final.
Krishna Orun of Linwood in lane 3. Watch out for Lopaka Marshall of Meadowdale in lane 4. Jack Custer of Meadowdale in lane 5. Those two coming in with very close times together. Eric Pham, a freshman from Edmonds Woodway, in lane 6. And Corwin Rutan of Edmonds Woodway in lane 7. That'll be the second men's 400 meter dash. On their way in the second of the men's 400 meter dashes. So our two Woodway runners easily, of course, out early. I believe that to be Lopaka Marshall, who's broken a lead. And indeed it is. It is Lopaka Marshall in lane 4 who will coast to the final. It's Eric Pham, the freshman, in lane 6, currently in second, with David Savinkov closing quickly on him. It'll be a close one across the line, but I believe that to be Eric Pham in second. Lopaka Marshall will take first, and David Savinkov takes third. And that is all that ran in that. Jack Custer and Krishna Arun did not start. So, if you're wondering where half the runners went, they just never started. Move on to our next event, event number 17.
From the women's 4x100 meter relay.
First,
your second place team
result.
with a time of 55.92 seconds, the Linwood Royals. And placing first in the ladies 4x1, the team of Gabby Chappelle, Ella Spillane, Hannah Hicks, and Angie Olson. Their time, 51.87 seconds, the Edmonds Woodway Warriors.
Those were the results from our women's 4x100, which only consisted of 2 teams. Therefore, of course, those two teams do go 1 and 2. Our next event is the women's 400-meter dash. You'll be looking at Sophia Nelson in lane 1, senior from Mount Lake Terrace. Catherine Gustafson in lane 2, also a senior from Mount Lake Terrace. Cecily Love, the freshman from Meadowdale, in lane 3. Samara Stolito, sophomore, Linwood, will be in lane 4. Brooke Hopp, senior from Meadowdale, in lane 5. Ellie Gard, freshman from Edmonds Woodway, lane 6. Isabel Collin, senior, Edmonds Woodway, lane 7. And Sarah Whalen, a freshman from Linwood, will round out the 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have it silenced for the start of the race, please.
About to get underway in the women's 400-meter dash. And they're off. Catherine Gustafson of Mount Lake Terrace did not start on this race. She did start her first race, which was the first race of the day, the women's the women's, no, I was correct, the women's 320-meter run. But she did not finish that race. Wonder if that's playing into any of it now. So we come into turn 3. I believe that to be Brooke Hopp. Coming around, it's Samara Stolito of Linwood in first. For the 2 Meadowdale runners, Brooke Hopp coming. And it's going to have a close one. As it's your lane 4 runner, Stolito Samara, coming first. Cecily Love will come second. We had a close finish in third.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your final results from the men's 4x100-meter relay. Placing fourth, the Meadowdale Mavericks. Your third place team, Mount Lake Terrace. Placing second with a time of 45.52 seconds, the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. And in first place in the men's 4x1, the team of Devin Boss, Tyler Dow, Alex Wynn, and Jerry Pham. Their time, 44.63 seconds, the Linwood Royals.
So we got confirmation on an earlier run, the men's 4x100-meter relay. It is the Linwood Royals who took that one, setting their own personal best. They came in with a 45.01. They just set a 44.63.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the final results from the men's 400-meter. Placing sixth, Ransom Gardner, Edmonds Woodway. Fifth, Dakota Bunger, Linwood. Fourth, Jared Yu, Edmonds Woodway. Placing third, Henry Shaw, Linwood. In second place, Desley Love, Meadowdale. And in first place in the men's 400-meter from Meadowdale High School, his time, 53.72 seconds, Elias Lynch.
Was the men's 400-meter confirmation, and another personal record set, Elias Lynch, junior from Meadowdale, just set a 5.372. It's 7 hundredths of a second faster than his previous set time. About to get ready for our second women's 400-meter dash. Vesta Bumgardner of Mount Lake Terrace will be in second.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and do a quick
We're actually
interview
gonna
right now.
Toss this down to Steve. Steve
Yeah,
Wilkes
the
on the
women's
field.
400 just concluding, and Sammy Solito, first place, and quite the kick down the backstretch there. You weren't leading coming into the final 30, 40, 50 yards, and then all of a sudden you overtook everybody. Tell me a little bit about your race.
Well, by the last straightaway, I knew that I really wanted to win, and I just opened up my stride and really went for it.
And did I hear this correctly just now? Did you just PR?
I did, yeah. And
What was your previous, and what did you just get?
it was 65, and I got to 64 this time. So
Only a sophomore too, so you're just getting stronger as you go along. Any particular goals for districts in terms of placement or times, or just go out there and have a good time and run your best?
I'd like to beat today's time. Hoping to get sub 64.
There we go. So we'll see if that's in the future. Back up to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Second in the women's 4x100 meter dashes. Looks to be Meadowdale's Maya Dollar. Out in front. She comes around the bend in lane 4. Indeed, it is Maya Dollar who's pulling away. Vesta Bumgardner has broken for second. And Hinda Folquet has broken for third. So Maya Dollar of Meadowdale will easily take this first place, but it will be a Terrace 2-3 following them. The Abiador sisters will come 4-5, and Megan Gibney will come 6th.
All right, everyone, if we can have some help with the hurdles, please. We'll need those hurdles placed on the white lines and the middle setting, especially down there, pole vault, javelin area. Any and all help would be much appreciated.
Right, guys, we are standing now with Brandon Bach, who is only a sophomore, correct? And Brandon, right now you won the javelin today rather easily, too, I might.
Placing 6th, Isabel Callan, Edmonds Woodway. 5th, Sophia Nelson, Mount Lake Terrace. Placing 4th, Ellie Gard, Edmonds Woodway.
Then so only 1 year though into the javelin, and I was talking to your mom recently, and she was telling me that you're still trying to learn this sport, and you're not even doing it the conventional way, and yet you're already throwing number 2 in the state. You've got some of the top throws in the nation as a sophomore. How much fun are you having just hucking that thing right now?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's something to do during the off season of football because that's my main sport. But I mean, I like javelin. It's fun.
And speaking of just something to do, you just happened to decide to do a triple jump today. And when did you start doing the triple jump?
Yesterday.
You'd never done the yesterday, and as it stands right now, you're currently in second place. Is that what I'm hearing?
40 feet and 3 inches.
So 43 and 3 inches, and you just started it yesterday. I think you might want to stick with this one for the next couple of years. What are your thoughts moving forward? Obviously, again, you're already a top thrower in the javelin. I know you love football, and you can continue doing that, but this sport here, you seem to be kind of a natural at it. Are you going to keep working at this? What's your plan for the summer?
Basically, I'm gonna be mostly working football, but on the off time, I'm gonna be working track. I'm gonna go to the Youth Olympics, try out for that, and I'm gonna work with the summer meets, and just plan on basically, I'm pretty much just gonna go triple and javelin. I'm gonna start to focus more on those two because he said that triple could be my new sport. So
his new sport, and he's already got the number 2 javelin in the state right now. Winning a state championship, do you start to think about that a little bit? Have you let your mind think that far ahead? It's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, but mainly I think it more of winning state as junior, senior year. This year they got pretty far throwers, so.
Pretty far thrower, but he's number 2 in the state right now, so we'll let him go right now. But Brandon, best of luck to you not only for the rest of the day here, but districts, sub-districts next week, districts the week after, and then on to state.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Steve. That was Brandon Bach, sophomore from Mount Lake Terrace. So we're in between competitions now. We're getting ready for the men's 300-meter hurdles. Take a look who is in that one. In lane 2 will be Matthew Johnson, a junior from Meadowdale. Lane 3, Jerry Pham, junior from Linwood. Lane 4, Aaron Richardson, junior from Edmonds Woodway. Lane 5, Elijah Edwards, senior from Linwood. Lane 6, Ian McGautry, senior from Meadowdale. And in lane 7, a freshman, Arrington Miller from Edmonds Woodway.
There is no one allowed on the football field unless you are warming up or cooling down. Those of you down on the 50-yard line in the north end zone, if you are not participating in warm-ups, please return to the stands.
We're off in the men's 300-meter hurdles. That looks to be Linwood's Tyler Dow out in the lead, followed by Edmonds Woodway's John Dato. It will be those two as they come down the final stretch. It's actually Long Nguyen and Tyler Dow as they come across the line. One final herder, and we're going to give it. We'll give it to John Dattow of Edmonds Woodway. Tyler Dow second, and looks like actually Long Nguyen in second and Tyler Dow in third. So that's what we'll give that one. Actually, correction. It'll be Aaron Richardson of Edmonds Woodway coming across the line first. Oh, Jerry Pham of Linwood coming second. And Elijah Edwards of Linwood coming third. Correction. Those are the correct standings. About to get our second of the 2 men's 300-meter hurdles. This is the correct one with Aaron Park, John DeTau, Tyler Dow, Long to win, Nick Hollingsworth, and Cooper Steed. That will be this running of the men's 300-meter hurdles. We're off in the second of the men's 300-meter hurdles. Looks to be a Linwood duo up front of Tyler Dow and Long to win. And those two are really competing neck and neck next to each other and have really pulled away. Ooh, we have a runner that stumbles when he collided with a hurdler. That looked like it was Nick Hollingsworth of Edmonds Woodway. And in lane 4, it's Tyler Dow that's starting to pull away. Long to win right behind him. And John DeTau will finish in third. It was indeed Nick Hollingsworth who took a stumble out on the third set of hurdles. Collided with one. But he seems all right. We'll move on to get ready for our next event, the women's 300-meter hurdles. Katie Hopper of Edmonds Woodway will be in lane 1. Emily Mathiasen of Meadowdale will be in lane 2. Saran Almara of Linwood will be in lane 3. Rita Sakharov, we've already seen her win 2 events today. We'll see if she goes for a third in lane 4. Catherine Doe of Meadowdale in lane 5. Kira Hicks of Edmonds Woodway in 6. Lexi Dellinger of Mount Lake Terrace in 7. And Kylie Otani of Mount Lake Terrace in 8th. That will be your women's 300-meter hurdles. We're underway in our second of 2 women's 300-meter hurdles. Well, this is the first of the women's 300-meter hurdles. And that is Linwood's Rita Sakharov, unsurprisingly pulling away in first. Middledale's Catherine Doe is looking to pull in second. Linwood Saran Alma looking to grab third. Emily Mathiasen of Middledale looking to grab fourth. Kara Hicks of Linwood follows that. Dellinger, Hopper, and Otani will round that one out. And that will finish our first.
Participants, this is the third and final call for the men's and women's 800 meter. Final call, all 800 runners. If you have not done so, you have 2 minutes to report to the tent.
So we'll get set for our final hurdles run of the day. Be the women's 300 meter junior varsity. There's 3 runners in this event. Hannah Bressler of Mount Lake Terrace will be in lane 3. Kira Dyler of Meadowdale will be in lane 4. And Jenna Riley of Edmonds Woodway will be in lane 5. This will be the second of the women's 300 meter hurdles junior varsity. And we're off in our second women's 300 meters. Only two runners are running out of the 3 that were scheduled. It's Hannah Bressler of Mount Lake Terrace and Kira Dyler of Meadowdale. Jenna Riley of Edmonds Woodway did not start. They'll come into turn 4. Dyler easily ahead of Bressler. And this 2-horse race will most likely finish like that. Dyler clears another hurdle. Dyler will clear the last set of hurdles and coast to the finish line for an easy victory. And Bressler will come across in second. So that ends our hurdles for the day. We'll look forward to our next event.
Off the track.
The men's 1,800 meter run. Matthew Park of Edmonds Woodway. We'll get you those in a moment.
Placing 6th, Alexia Dellinger, Mount Lake Terrace. 5th, Kyra Hicks, Edmonds Woodway. Placing 4th, Emily Mathiasen, Meadowdale. 3rd, Saren Almau, Linwood. 2nd, Catherine Doe, Meadowdale. And in first place in the ladies' 300 hurdles from Linwood High School, her time, 47.53 seconds, Rita Sakharov. Ladies and gentlemen, we just like to remind you the concession stand is open. Find all your favorite treats, hot and cold drinks, especially hot cocoa, coffee, at Joe's Snack Shack. Joe's Snack Shack, located behind the stadium grandstands.
So we'll get you the lineup for this men's 800-meter run. Matthew Park of Edmonds Woodway. It's the number 2 section. Jaden Lofries of Mount Lake Terrace. Leo Wold of Linwood will be running. Colin Kineckel of Meadowdale will be running. John Christian of Edmonds Woodway will be running. June Masanga of Edmonds Woodway will be running. Jacob Potter, a freshman from Linwood, is in. Jose Andadre of Mount Lake Terrace. Kyle Hassler of Meadowdale. And Grant Christian of Edmonds Woodway will round out the 11 running in the men's 800-meter. About to get underway now. Men's 1800 meter. Sorry, not 1800. 800 meter, and they're off. They'll come around turn 2. It's like to be Jaden Lofries out front of Mount Lake Terrace. And running right with him is Matthew Park of Edmonds Woodway. One lap to go here in the men's 1800 meter. It is Matthew Park out front, Jaden Lofries right behind him. Leo Wold and Colin Kineckel in that front group as well. The pack is really split in two. Matthew Park starting to pull away from the other three. Looks like Leo Wold has overtaken Jaden Lofries. And so will Colin Kineckel. And Lofries starting to fade here as they'll go around the corner one more time. And Edmonds Woodway looking to take a 1-2 finish here. And it will be Matthew Park across the line first. It was John Christian behind him in second. Leo Wold will take third. Jaden Lofries behind him in fourth. That'll round out the top four in the men's 1800 meter. We'll get set for our second men's 1800 meter run. This will have 4 runners in it, 2 Linwood runners, 2 Mount Lake Terrace runners. Musa Kamara of Linwood, Connor Kilgore of Linwood, Noah McCarty of Mount Lake Terrace, and Charles Fritz of Mount Lake Terrace. So they'll get ready to go here. Four runners here for our second men's 1,800 meter run. About to get ready now. And they're off in the second of the men's 800 meter dashes. And now, during this race, we're going to toss it down to my good buddy Steve Wiltz on the field. Steve, here you go. Apologies, Steve not quite ready to take that. So we will stay here. One of the Mount Lake Terrace runners out front. Both Mount Lake Terrace runners out front. It's Charles Fritz out front. Followed by Noah McCarty. And McCarthy will pass Fritz down the back straightaway. They'll come into turn 3.
Sandy Nestor, can we get you down to the home tunnel, please?
It will come around turn 3. It's Musa Kamara of Linwood coming strong. No one's going to have to push into high gear if he want to keep the lead. If he'll want to keep the lead. Indeed, it will be Noah McCarthy going 1, Musa Kamara going 2, and Charles Fritz will take 3rd. Connor Kilgore, got to give him some points for effort, hustling hard down the back straightaway. He'll finish in 4th.
Ladies, if I could have your attention, please. This is the first call for the women's varsity triple jump. First call.
Huh? And now we will toss it down to my good buddy, Steve
Just
Wiltz.
right now, 2 of the better hurdlers
Steve,
in the
here you
area,
go.
and they had a heck of a battle today twice. Aaron Richardson from Edmonds Woodway and Eli Edwards from Linwood. Aaron, you come out victorious on both races. Talk about the one easier than I'm sure it was, but you pulled away from the field.
Well, yeah, I mean, today was a great race. Eli here, he pushed me like he does every week, and it was great competition. You know, coming after a couple bad races, it was a great feeling to come back and do one of my best races this season.
And then in the you had the lead coming into that backstretch. Didn't win the race. Aaron got you, but I believe you PR'd. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, it just felt like a great race. I'm pretty sure I PR'd, but man, I'm just so tired, but I'm happy to run a good race. And Aaron's just such a good finisher.
Big smile on your face right now too, and you're also doing the triple jump, so you're a little winded right now. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling all right. Legs are tired. Still got a 4x400, I believe, but man, I'm just ready to be done today with today, but today was so exciting. I love when it's sunny out here.
Very nice. And then, Aaron, next week you're not doing the 4x100 today, but we'll certainly see you for districts, correct?
Yeah, for sure. In the 4x1 and the 3 and the 110s.
Okay. Any goals for the rest of the year? Is it more about PRs, or are you thinking podium? I know you've got the number 4 right now in the 300, correct, in the hurdles?
In the 110s.
Or the 110. Okay. So hoping to get the podium there this year?
For sure. Yeah, I want to finish my season strong. Hopefully I don't have any more bad races like I've had the last couple of weeks, but I want to finish strong for sure.
So 2 great athletes and even better guys down here. And so back up to you guys as we get ready for the next race. Okay, and with us right now, Rita Sakharov from Linwood. 3 victories already today. But more importantly, I want to talk about state coming up. The 300 meter, you've gotten 2 third-place finishes at state the last 2 years. We ready to maybe make the jump this year?
Definitely. I'm so pumped for this year, and I want that first place.
What is like for you? Because obviously the competition a little bit behind you at this point. We kind of already know who's going to, you may not want to admit this, but we already think we know who's going to win the race each time, and you tend to pull away. I mean, do you like it more when you have somebody to push you and that's right there neck and neck with you, or are you just as happy taking a 3 or 4 second victory?
I actually prefer knowing that there's faster people in my heat because that pushes me to do better. All the conditioning I can get is better overall for me at the end of the day. So I prefer that there are better competition, but I'll take a victory every once in a while.
Is it my imagination?
No, actually, I'm just doing different events this year.
Okay.
So last year I did the 4x2.
We're gonna just 1 second while we get started. Right back right now. So what are
So this year I'm doing the open 1, the 100 hurdles, the 300 hurdles, and the open 2.
keeping
Yes, definitely. I call these my conditioning days. Obviously the hurdles are my main focus, but it's nice to keep running and keep in shape.
and you're trying to stay warm here. What do you got?
I have the open 2 coming up.
Okay, go ahead and get warm. Get ready.
Bye, Steve. Bye.
All right.
Placing sixth, Jacob Potter, Linwood. Fifth, Colin Netchell, Meadowdale. Fourth, Lowell Wolda, Linwood. Placing third, Jaden LaFreeze, Mount Lake Terrace. Second, Grant Christian, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in the men's 800 meter from Edmonds Woodway High School, his time 2 minutes, 1.1 seconds, Matt Park. Ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the 200 meter, could we have everybody in the field area down on a knee or seated? Thank you. Participants, if I could have your attention, please. This is the first call for the men's 3,200. First call, men's 3,200 meter. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your final results from the women's javelin. Placing 6th, Madison Sadler, Mount Lake Terrace. 5th, Deja Lester, Linwood. Placing 4th, Adriana Valadez, Meadowdale. 3rd, Isabella Yunson, Edmonds Woodway. 2nd, Savannah Gerard, Edmonds Woodway. And in first place in women's javelin from Linwood High School.
Welcome
Her
back
best
from
throw,
the field.
120 feet even.
Cameras turned around
Emily
there.
Smatlack. We could have everyone down in the field area, please. Down for the 200 meter.
Meter. We're going to get an interview right after this race.
Participants, this is the second call for the men's 3,200.
All right, and with us right now, a three-time winner today
men's
already, Devin
3,200
Boss from
meter.
Linwood, 100-meter winner, 200-meter, and the 4x100. How are you feeling about today?
I'm feeling pretty good today. I feel like our team has a really good chance of winning.
I like the fact that you're talking team first rather than an individual, but let's talk
Ladies and
individual for a
gentlemen,
moment
here are
here.
your final
100 meter and
results from the
200 meter,
men's
you
triple
knew
jump.
you were the favorite coming in, but
Placing 6th.
you never know you're going to win until you get down to the finish line there. Tell me about your races today. Did they go the way you planned?
Yeah, I've just been practicing on my starts lately because my starts are slower than anything. It's my acceleration that pulls me forward. So I've just been practicing on my starts all week.
And I was hearing you talk to one of your coaches a minute ago. Is there a chance you might be in another race here coming up? Is that the plan?
Yeah, the 4x4. I'll probably be doing that.
And then how are you feeling about districts coming up?
District? I feel pretty good. I feel like I have a really good chance of at least making top 3. Yeah.
So we will see. But again, victorious today 3 times so far, and maybe a 4th coming up. Devin, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Spencer Willard of Linwood, would you please check in for the 3,200 meter? Spencer Willard, please check in for the 3,200.
Now, pole vaulter, we don't get a chance to talk to too many of those, and one of the top ones in the state. Tell me a little bit about your day today. What was the goal for the day?
Today I went 12.6, and my goal is to beat my PR of 12.3, but that didn't happen today, and it's okay because I'm excited because I get to compete tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to PRing in the future.
And where are you participating tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm unattached at the Ken Shannon invite at UW.
Okay, so you're keeping busy these days too. You've got one of the top pole vaults in the state right now. I know it's your second or third, depending on who you ask and where you look right now. What is the ultimate goal? I know the number one pole vaulter right now in the state is at 12.9. Is that something you can maybe get to between now and the end of May, or is it just a matter of hoping that maybe that 12.9 comes down a little and you can perhaps beat them on the podium?
Yeah, I'm hoping to go higher than 12.9, hopefully 12.13, but if I'm just happy to PR, and I look forward to going higher in the future.
Okay, and having fun today? I mean, obviously when you're out here with your teammates, it's a little bit windy, but it seems like the Edmonds Woodway team as a whole is doing pretty well.
Yeah, we're doing really great, and hopefully we take first. So.
There we go. That's always the goal. Back up to you guys. Next up, the men's 3,200 meter dash. Sam McLeod of Edmonds Woodway, Cameron Sanders Edmonds of Meadowdale, Nick Leidig, Mount Lake Terrace, Dylan Hanarto, Edmonds Woodway, Lucas Lacombra, Edmonds Woodway, Diego Peraza, Edmonds Woodway, Alex Williams, Mount Lake Terrace, Josh Beam, Mount Lake Terrace, Leo Wold, Linwood, Andrew Burke, Meadowdale, Cameron Hawk, Linwood, Noah McCarty, Mount Lake Terrace, Aldiat Birch, Linwood, Matthew Collin, Meadowdale, Kasey Kaprinsky, Meadowdale, and Spencer Willard, Linwood, for your men's 3,200.
Sakharov.
Off in the men's 3,200 meter.
Participants, it's almost time for our last events of the night. This is the first call for the men's and women's 4x400 meter relay. First call, all 4x4 teams, please check in at the 35-yard line. Participants, this is the second call for the men's and women's 4x400 meter relay. Second call, men's and women's 4x400 meter relay.
And now,
All
down
right,
to the
we finally have a
sideline,
camera there.
Steve Willits.
Interview Sam McLuhan, the winner of the last race. Sam, looked rather easy out there, pulling away from the field. How was it?
It was great. You know, I wanted to go out a little harder, but it was still like exactly what I wanted. And I negative split for the first time this season, so it felt really good. That's promising.
Oh, no kidding. Was that the main goal coming into this one today?
I was actually intending to go out harder and then have the second mile be a little bit slower than the first. But, you know, the way the race worked out plus the wind, you know, I kind of tucked behind my teammate for a little bit and then pulled away. But it just felt great.
Tell me about your teammates a little bit, because, I mean, between you and Matthew and Lucas, you guys are having a great year. Just tell me about this Edmonds Woodway running team in general, especially the distance runners.
Yeah, so coming off this cross-country season, all of us just really wanted to keep working hard because we kind of shocked a few people during cross. But
ladies and gentlemen,
this
here are
winter
your
was
final
a
results
really
from
good grind
women's
for
triple
all of
jump.
us. And you know, it's been great having like 2 guys to train with, and then we had at least 12 out almost every day over the winter. So you know, it's really just paying off. All the guys are getting good PRs.
And this is the time of year when you want to be getting those PRs, right? So you're getting into May. How is the team feeling moving forward here?
We're feeling good. Judging Lucas's performance, it looks like he could have a shot at state, but Matt and I are going to start tapering a little bit, getting ready for state, and all the other guys getting ready for Wesco districts. You know, hopefully they can place well there. I know they will, because we've got a freshman, Diego, who's really coming on strong, which is awesome.
Seems like every time we turn around, there's a new Edmonds Woodway runner. It's kind of nice to have that ability to taper, too, knowing that you've already got the times to qualify, and I've got to think that's a huge benefit for you moving forward.
Still need a couple more PRs, but yeah, we'll get there.
I like the goal setting. So again, Sam, congratulations on that last race, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Sam, thanks. Appreciate it, man.
Getting ready now for the men's 4x4 meter relay. In lane 2 will be the team of Edmonds Woodway. It's Ransom Gardner, Arrington Miller, Eric Pham, and Marcus Dilworth. In lane 3, the Linwood team, Elijah Edwards, Leon Rundon, Henry Shaw, and Dakota Bunger. The main Edmonds Woodway team will be in lane 3. That's Jared Yu, Chris Tilbury, Grant Christian, and Matthew Park. Meadowdale's team will consist of Ian McGotti, Desley Love, Colin Knickel, and Elias Lynch. And Mount Lake Terrace's team for this one is Braden Sims, Jaden Lofries, Yannick Bua, and Alex Woodard. Again, the men's 4x4 meter relay. And we're off in the 4x4 meter relay. Terrace will have the early advantage starting in lane 6. Well, there's definitely some speedsters on these Edmonds, Woodway, Linwood, and Meadowdale teams. Linwood starting to close in. Edmonds, Woodway right there. Meadowdale shortly behind. They'll come around the corner. It's Linwood, Terrace, Woodway. Now Woodway has overtaken Terrace as they'll come around to the final 100 meters of the first leg. Crowd really getting into this one. Elijah Edwards. Braden Sims is going to chug hard here for the toss. Linwood, Woodway, Terrace as the trade exchange has happened. Meadowdale really fell back after that one, and this might come down to a 3-horse race. It's Justin Leon Rendon of Linwood. It is Chris Tilbury for Edmonds Woodway. And it's Jaden Loafers from Alley Terrace, and Jaden's starting to kind of fade. And we might just have a 2-horse race here for the 4x4. The two Peloton members have opened up in front of Loafries. It's Leon Rendon and Tilbury. They'll come neck and neck down the final 100 here in the second lap. Tilbury has overtaken, and Edmonds Woodway into the lead for the third exchange. Wow, quick changes for both Linwood and Edmonds Woodway. It looks like we had a change. That's not Jaden Loafries for the Hawks. And wow, that was a poor exchange for Mount Lake Terrace as they fell on all the way back to 5th. Behind the second Woodway team, their day is done in this one. And we're going to have a 2-horse race to the finish between Edmonds Woodway's 1 and Linwood. It's Grant Christian who will come around in the lead in the third corner. Henry Shaw right there with him, although Grant Christian now starting to open up a little bit of a lead on the Linwood team. They'll come around to the fourth corner and into the final straightaway here on the third lap of the 4x4. It's indeed Grant Christian who has opened up kind of a big lead on Linwood's Henry Shaw. And a quick exchange to their anchor, that's Matthew Park. He's had some really fast runs today, but he better watch out. Dakota Bunger's going to try to go get him for Linwood. Meadowdale exchange. Linwood 2 have exchange. It looks like Mount Lake Terrace put up a completely different team than the one here. I'm not recognizing most of these members. So Mount Lake Terrace put up almost what's like a second team for this one. I gotta tell you, it's no longer even close as Matthew Park and the Edmonds Woodway Warriors are gonna run away with this 4x4 relay. He'll come down the straight, uncontested. It's Matthew Park and the Edmonds Woodway Warriors who will be claimed victorious in the men's 4x4 meter relay. Dakota Bunger shortly behind him. Here comes Elias Lynch of Meadowdale. They'll claim third. Marcus Dilworth of Edmonds Woodway's second team will finish fourth for them. And Terrace is going to come by 5th. An interesting kind of matchup for me to, in this last 4x4. Terrace put up a completely different team minus Braden Sims. Braden Sims did indeed start for this Terrace relay team, but 3 other guys. No Loafries, no Woodard, no Booyah. Quite surprising. So Terrace, who started off fast and was in the lead early, falls to 5th. And we'll get ready for our final event of the day. You're looking at event 33, the women's 4x4 meter relay.
We have one last race, tonight's track and field event. Then we'll have our trophy presentations. As you're leaving tonight, please make sure to look around you and grab all the trash and recyclables. Place them in their... Those of you down at the field, please make a walk around.
right now. We're going to toss it down to Steve Willits, the man with a plan. He's got another
Linwood with
interview.
us right now, the javelin thrower. Emily, one of the top 10 throwers in the state right now. I think last time I checked, you were like number 6 or 7. Does that sound right?
With my PR on Saturday, I moved up to 3rd. So.
Okay, even better, top 3 right now. How did it go today for you? I've got to think in this wind and the conditions, probably not ideal for you, right?
Well, yeah, actually, the wind didn't hinder too much today. It was mostly my point wasn't so good, so I was throwing mostly sideways. But I'm happy with the pop that I'm getting now because I got it. It finally clicked on Saturday. So.
Tell me about the PR then. So that was set. Was that over in Lake Washington?
Yes. Yeah, that was at the Lake Washington meet. So I had a PR of, it was a 4-inch of lifetime PR, but I threw that in the summer, the 125. So for the season, it was 7 feet. So I think the competition helped. You know, the environment was really good. I really liked the runway. You know, it's a fun day.
And I've got to think now, being in 3, you're looking at a podium potentially. I know it's 3 weeks away still, but feeling pretty good going into the last few weeks of the season?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Trying to take it one day at a time, you know, just work on the little things like my hole in my hip and my
everything else that goes into a top performance, I take it.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, thank you again, and best of luck not only in the districts coming up, but also at state in a few weeks.
Thank you so much.
Placing 5th, Zach Plummer, Meadowdale. 4th, Andrew Rutz, Edmonds Woodway. Placing 3rd, Nicholas Sibrakov, Edmonds Woodway. Placing 2nd, Patrick Milam, Mount Lake Terrace. And in 1st place in men's pole vault from Meadowdale High School, his best vault, 13 feet even, Cyrus Marshall.
About to get started in the women's 4x4 meter relay. Going to read you now the teams. In lane 2 will be the Edmonds Woodway team. It's their B team of Sophia Gard, Isabel Callan, Alyssa Hershey, and Thea McAfee. Meadowdale will be in lane 3. It's Emily Mathiasen, Maya Dollar, Catherine Doe, and Cecily Love. In lane 4 will be Edmonds Woodway's A team. It's Olivia Metter-Yetter, Ellie Gard, Stephanie Warbolowski, and Yukina Parley. In lane 5 will be Linwood's team of Allison MacArthur, Samara Stalio, Malia Pivic, and Saren Alma. And Mount Lake Terrace will be in lane 6. It's Sandra Hart, Samira Gabrahua, Angel Garcia, and Jessica Ong, and we're underway in the women's 4x4 meter.
Placing 6th, Andrew Burke, Meadowdale. 5th, Josh Beam, Mount Lake Terrace. 4th, Nick Leidig, Mount Lake Terrace. 3rd, Cameron Sanders, Meadowdale. 2nd, Dylan.
And out front for Terrace, looks like Emily Roldan. I'm not quite sure who that is. Looks like Mount Lake Terrace put a different team out for this relay as well. But she's got a commanding lead on the rest of the pack. This one's staying much closer to the men's race. It's actually Samara Gabrahuat, who's scheduled to run 2nd. She's running 1st. She's going to pass to Angel Garcia, but the Edmonds Woodway team, Olivia Metter-Yetter, closing fast. Edmonds Woodways have exchanged. Terrace has exchanged. Linwood exchanged. Meadowdale and the 2nd Woodway team. And they're off into lap 2. That is Ellie Gard, a freshman, battling, I believe, Angel Garcia for Terrace. As they come around corner 2. And these two, the Woodway team and the Terrace team, have really opened a big lead, which is a surprise. I'm surprised the Linwood team has fallen, especially with Michaela Pivic, who's had great runs today. Maybe they'll look to have her catch them up. They'll come around turn 4. Angel Garcia still in the lead for Terrace. Ellie Gard right behind her. They'll come down the last 100 and get ready for the exchanges. That'll be to Jessica Ong and Stephanie Warbolowski. Terrace has opened up a couple step lead. They have exchanged. Woodway's exchanged. Here comes the Linwood team, and watch out. Here comes Michaela Pivic. She's exchanged. She is fast. See if she can catch it. Meadowdale's exchanged. But right now, this is looking like a 2-horse race between Terrace and Woodway A. They'll come down the back stretch. Jessica Ong still leads over Stephanie Warbolowski. But Warbolowski starting to catch her step by step. Michaela Pivic might have made up some ground, but it might be just too little too late. I think she's realizing that now, and this is going to come down to these two, Terrace and Woodway A in the front. Warbolowski starting to catch Jessica Ong. They'll come around turn 4. And they're neck and neck down the last 100, which will be the final pass to Sandra Hart for Terrace and Yokina Parlay. And Edmonds Woodway has claimed lead here by a couple steps. Terrace transfers first, then Woodway. And here we go. Hart and Parlay neck and neck. And it's Sandra Hart who has claimed out in front. What a race to end the day. Couldn't ask for anything better. They'll come down the back straight. It is Hart. She's starting to open it up. And Parlay and the Woodway A team. And these two have pulled away from Linwood, who's kind of in the middle of nowhere. That's Saran Alma for Linwood. They'll come around turn 4. This Sandra Hart who still leaves. But Woodway coming close. We're gonna have a quick. Here comes the finish, folks. They'll come down the last straightaway. It's Hart. Parlay catching closely. Still Hart. Parlay closing in. They're neck and neck. And I think it's Woodway. I believe Woodway got that one. Although it's not over, Linwood will come in, take 3rd. Meadowdale will finish 4th, and Woodway B will finish 5th. But how about that finish? A neck-and-neck nail-biter between the Woodway A team and Mount Lake Terrace. Mount Lake Terrace, a team that started in the 6th lane, came into this maybe not looking, maybe one of the slower teams, but boy, they put on the Jets. Sandra Hart maybe put a little bit too much on in the front. But nevertheless, quick finish. And that will do it for us. Track and field, the Edmonds School District Championships are now concluded. We thank you for joining us on our broadcast tonight. I'm going to quickly throw it down to Steve Willits on the field.
Certainly the boys were the first ones to run them, so we'll be right back with that in just a moment. I think we might have had the best event in the final event. The 400 over here in just a second too. Let's see if we can get all 8 of these winners at one time here. So, Matt, if we can get the other 3 4x400 meter teammates. Olivia, where are you at? Olivia Meter Yetter, come on over here for a second. What did you run that last lap in?
I heard 63.1 maybe.
And I think if you'd run like 63.2 or 63.3, I think you would have lost. I mean, that was quite the performance there. Tell me about that final lap and trying to run her down there and catch her at the end.
It's kind of interesting because I was in front of her for like 5 meters.
Just a reminder to parents.
And she got in front of me, and she was pretty far. She was like 7 meters in front of me. I was like, I don't know if I can get her, but then I heard Grant over there, and he was like, you're closing, you're closing. I was like, okay.
So I like quickened my stride and I lengthened my stride. I saw it was closing and she was just dying and I was like kind of grinding a little bit down here, and then I heard everybody screaming. It was like, whoa, I just got to go for it.
Go for it, you did, and you won it. Hey, let's get these other three over here too real quick. So come on over here. Who ran the first leg? Stephanie, come on over here. Talk about that leg there a little bit. What an exciting finish when you ran the first leg in a relay. I mean, your hands are tied after that. How exciting was it for you to watch from the inside the track here, knowing that you were already done, and it was just a matter of seeing how the other three could do?
Mixed feelings of like, oh, I should have set them up more, but then I spent the rest of the time sprinting around cheering for them, so it was okay.
And the freshmen did okay too today, right? Yeah. Ellie, come on over here. Tell me about your race there. What an exciting way to end the night. I've got to think that it was fun for you to see just how close that race was.
Definitely. It was kind of hard though, because when I went out, the girl was right with me, and I was trying to stay close to her so I can give my team a better opportunity to win.
And win you guys did, so congratulations on that. Yuki, you and Jessica On having quite the battle out there. That was fun to watch you two out there on the track right now. What was that like for you?
That was interesting. I could tell we were going really fast, a lot faster than I was usually going, and it was really hard, but I told myself I had to set Olivia up really well for the last lap, so yeah.
I'm used to watching you and Olivia run longer distances. Do you enjoy the 400?
Yeah, I feel like the 4x4 is a lot less stressful because it's like a team and we all work together, and I really like that part because we have that in cross country, but we don't have that in track, so yeah.
Congratulations, way to end the night, and go celebrate this one.
Thank you.
And let's get the four guys over here too. Where's the 4x400 team? Matthew Park. Yeah. Quite the day for you as always. What distance don't you run these days?
100 and 200. I don't know super short stuff.
There you go. Well, 400's kind of short for you, and what a way to end the night for you guys too. That was a big meet. Tell me about your run there.
I mean, the 4x4 is always the most hyped up event in track. It's always the funnest and at the end, so it's fun to come out with a win at this meet.
First time I've talked to you since you committed to Boise State. Congratulations on that. How are you feeling right now about everything in terms of the way the season's gone and how things are going into the postseason here?
It's looking pretty good so far. Only lost one time, so I mean, hopefully we can keep that going throughout the whole year and only have that one loss.
There you go. Well, let's talk to these three other guys here real quick too. Jared, we'll start with you. Nice way to get the thing going here. Tell me about your run out there and how did you feel?
Felt pretty good. I definitely feel like I pushed myself because on that last stretch, definitely felt like tearing up a little bit, but it felt good. Definitely felt good, yeah.
And then you hand off and tell me about your leg there.
Yeah, well, I kind of just did what I always do. Went and started off, pushed out hard like I always try to do. Down the back stretch, you kind of just keep your speed. Coming around the corner, there was a lot of my friends over on the corner yelling, making sure to keep us up, which is a great feeling, obviously having people over there supporting, and then just kind of 100% down the back stretch and was able to pass the guy down the back stretch, and it was awesome. It was just it was a great race.
We got the family cheering you on over there too now. So tell me about your race today and just the day in general.
Today was a really good day. Happy to be part of this Edmonds team. I was really happy Chris came in and got me the lead for that third leg. I was a little worried about Linwood, but yeah, I just got the stick and went for it. So yeah.
I should ask that too, because Chris, you guys were behind when you came down into that backstretch there, and to get that lead, and how vital was that? Was that your main goal when you took the baton there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, if you're behind, it's definitely always a goal to try and catch them, and it helps me pace myself too, like making sure to keep pace with the guy in front of you helps to make sure and maybe save a little at the end for a good kick. Yeah, it's definitely important for the team.
And Grant, I've got to think it's just fun for you guys in general, right? I mean, just the fact that the way this team's performing this year and so many different runners.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with everyone on our team. Everyone works really hard, and it's been a blast, yeah.
Well, it looks like I think coaches are starting to gather you guys up. So, again, a lot of fun today. Coach Philman, we'll maybe get him over here for a brief moment, but go celebrate this one, guys, and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Coach, Rick Philman right now from Edmonds Woodaway, and how'd you feel about the day in general?
Oh, wow, no, it's a great day. The kids really performed. We had PRs all over the place. Stands for personal records. Just a tremendous day. You couldn't ask for more. Whenever we come out here, we focus on ourselves and putting forth everything that we can put forth. And all season long, they've done that. And they did it again today. Perfect way to set us up going into West Coast South next week. So I'm excited. I don't know how anybody could not watch those last few races and not just be excited. So, yeah, no, great day.
Speaking of those last few races, the 4x400, well, wow, what a finish. I've got to think that it's always nice to see some of your teams your participants getting pushed a little bit there too, and kind of finding out what they're made of. And I think Miss Olivia Meter-Yetter certainly showed it down the stretch there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And she showed it in some of the earlier races as well. As did the other 3 girls who ran that. I mean, just you could not ask for a better race. As a fan to watch, but as a competitor even, is so much easier to run well when you have somebody right there who's pretty close. And it was, us and Terrace. And our ladies stepped up and they met that challenge and they put forth what they could and wow, what a fantastic race. I mean, I still have chills just thinking about it.
Not a bad way to end the night.
Oh, perfect way to end the night. And, Terrace battled hard. I mean, it was a great race.
Now, what does an event like this mean, too? Because I know, obviously, once you start getting into districts, that's when you start qualifying for state for a lot of these participants. State, obviously, is the big one in 3 weeks. But I would think that knowing that those 2 trophies were out here earlier means a lot to get your name etched on that from year to year, right? This is something that these students and you guys take this seriously, right?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I mean, there's everybody here, every team here put forth their best effort to try and do that. It's a big deal. It's it's the bragging rights of the school district. All these kids know each other. They're friends. They've grown up through outside sports teams and so forth. So it's always that kind of beat your brother kind of thing. That friendly rivalry. It's a huge deal. And next week will be a little bit different focus, of course. But tonight was all about going forth, doing the best we can individually, but as the end result of trying to help the team. And every kid here knew that we were trying to win this trophy tonight. And they were putting forth. Sometimes it's a little bit bigger than yourself, and so you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for something that's a little bit bigger than you. And I think that makes it individually more exciting as well, because now you're part of something bigger. And I think all 4 teams, all the kids felt that, and I think you see that in a lot of the performances. I mean, we're not the only ones that got PRs out here tonight. Talking to some of the other coaches, they'd be telling you the same thing as far as, our kids really stepped up and we had a lot of PRs, and you can never ask for more than that. I mean, the kids done the best they've ever done in their life. I mean, and they're doing that tonight, and I think a lot of it has to do with battling your friends and brothers and neighbors that are within the school district.
Seeing a lot of smiles out here. That's what it's all about, correct?
That's what it's all about, having some fun. It's hard work. It's a long season. This spring, of course, has been a little bit colder than normal, as evident by tonight a little bit here. And so, it's a lot of hard work and a lot of cold, rainy days, and you got to have some fun in there. And tonight's one of those nights where the kids can, go out there, perform really well, and then sit back and enjoy it. So I'm happy for them. They've done really, really well all season long, as I said, and it's just nice to end in that way. I mean, everybody feels good right now. So
absolutely. Well, Coach Philman, thank you again for your time, and best of luck to you the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Back in the booth here now. We have our final scores for the night. Our final male scores have Linwood finishing on top with 159 points. Edmonds Woodway also tied for first in the male teams category with 159 points. Meadowdale will take third, 122 points, and Mountlake Terrace in fourth with 72. To females, Edmonds Woodway takes first with 217 points. Linwood in second with 136. Meadowdale in third with 96.5, and Mountlake Terrace will come in fourth with 76.5. So in combined, it is Edmonds Woodway who win today with 376 points. Linwood comes in second with 295, Meadowdale in third with 218.5, and Mountlake Terrace comes in with 148.5. For Steve Willits, Angelo Camo, I am Ben Iman. Thank you for joining us tonight, watching the Edmonds School District Championship track match between our 4 Edmonds School District schools. Signing off for the last time tonight, you've been watching the Sound Live Sports Network.